everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to join this granny square sweater, but before I continue, thank you for being here, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know when I post new videos. So we're going to make this sweater in granny squares, and it's 24 granny squares. Depending on the size, the number of granny squares is going to be different. So I'm making a medium, and my granny square is 7 by 7 inches. I also have a full written pattern with all the sizes, the tips and tricks, the diagram, and everything you're going to need to make this sweater, and you can go check it out in the description box below. And in this video, I'm also not going to make the most stitch granny square. There's a separate video for it, so you can catch it. It's available in the description box below, so go and watch it and then come back so that we can start making the sweater. The supplies you're going to need are also indicated in the description box, so for each size how much yarn you're going to need, and the hook size and everything else that you're going to need is available in the description box below, as well as in the written pattern. So I have done a tutorial on how to make these squares, so go and watch the tutorial and then come back and we're gonna start joining the squares. So let's go ahead and join the squares, and this is how they're going to be joined. The black lines is where the joints are going to be, and the red part is the square. So just go ahead and join them. I'm using the slip stitch method, which I'm just going to show you just now. And when you're joining, don't forget to leave the neck opening, which is 9 inches for the smaller sizes and then 10 inches for the larger sizes. Square will have the wrong side and the right side. They look a little bit different. The wrong side will have the stitches look a little bit bumpier, and on the right side the stitches look a little smoother. So you need to decide which one will be your wrong side, because for me even this looks nice, but I'm going to work with this side. I'm going to work with this side as my right side. So when we're stitching, we're going to be stitching on the wrong side of the squares. So as I have explained, I'm going to start with the sleeve. So I'm going to start with these two and then work all the way just in the middle only first. I'm doing this so I don't have to cut so much yarn. So I'm going to do these 6, that's the sleeve, and then do for the 2 for the body, and then work on the other side. So let's begin. I didn't need to lay them down, or if you are just using plain colors, different colors, it is best you take a photo of how you want them to be arranged. My yarn is very graded and it's doing the work, so I'm not going to worry about which color goes next to which one. I'm just going to work them as I pick them up, and it's going to work. I'm going to start with these two. Use the same hook size that you're using, and try and pick a yarn weight similar to what you worked, because if you use like a thinner yarn, it's gonna cause you problems. So we're going to start. So this is my right side. I'm going to turn them to the wrong side. I'm going to turn them so that the right sides are facing each other and the wrong sides are outside. All right, you should always check. And then I'm going to start by slip stitching into the corner. You can start on any corner, it really doesn't matter. And then make a slip knot and pull through. and then chain 1, and we're just going to be slip stitching in the back loops only. So a stitch has 2 loops, the front loop and the back loop also on this side. So we're going to be slip stitching in the back loops only. The other thing you want to do is you want to put a stitch marker on the corner of your square just to hold it in place. Because the squares are exactly the same, you will just work exactly the same. You're not going to skip or try and work in a particular way. So starting with the next stitch in the back loops only, slip, insert your hook, and then go on the other side in the back loop only, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. We're not skipping. This is most stitch and we do have chain 1s in between, but we're not skipping the chain 1s. We're working each and every stitch including the chain 1s. So in the next stitch, insert your hook in the back loop, and then in the back loop of the other side, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. Insert your hook in the back loop, and in the back loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. And I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to see you when I get to the stitch marker for us to join the next set of squares. I'm now where we have the stitch marker, so I'm just going to work the very last stitch and then get into the corner of both sides and slip stitch. Okay, you're now done with the first joint. So as you can see, this is your first joint. This is how it's gonna look on the other side. So I'm just going to continue to join my squares until all the squares have been joined and the neck opening has been made. Don't forget to leave for the sleeve opening as well, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to work the collar. Okay, so I'm done with joining. So what you're going to do now is we're going to make the neck opening, and you're going to count your stitches around the neck opening and find the center. So the joints, you count them as stitches. So when you're counting, count the joints as stitches, and I have found this is my center. From there, you're going to go into the next stitch and join your yarn, and we're going to work around back and forth using the moss stitch. I'm going to use a 4mm because I want my neck to be a little bit smaller and a little bit tighter. So you join your yarn next to the stitch of the center. So I'm going to chain 2, and we're going to work the normal moss stitch, which is chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and I suggest you work on the right side of the fabric. So we start by skipping the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip, single crochet, 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 chain 1, skip, single crochet. And as I said, we're treating the joints as stitches, so we're going to skip the joint and then single crochet just next to it, chain 1, and continue until you are 1 stitch before the joint. So you can pause this now, and I will see you at the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch into the base of the first stitch that you made, chain 2, turn, then single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain phase, and continue until the end of the row where you have before the last space which you would have chained. So I will see you when I get to the end of the row. So we're at the very end of the row and we're going to single crochet in the last chain space, chain 2 and turn, and from here on we're just going to work the same stitches over and over again until you get the height that you need. I'm thinking mine is going to be, but you can work it as long as you want your collar to be long. So I'm just going to continue working until I'm done. Then I'm going to cut and reveal my ends, and we're going to come back and work the edging. To work the edging, which you're going to do on both sleeves and the bottom, it's exactly the same thing. What you're going to do is, because when you join the squares, you know, you get this sort of an even finish. So we're just going to do one round of most stitch to just even that out. So to work the edging, you're going to join your yarn, make a slip knot and pull through. Then we're just going to work most stitch all around. So to begin most stitch, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to single crochet where you have the chain spaces, and then skip the stitches. You're going to treat the joints as stitches and continue until the end of row. Once you're done, you're finished, and you can do the same for the other sleeve and for the bottom part of the sweater, and then you're done. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Until next time, thank you for watching.